Welcome to Focus on Crestview. I'm Derek Lott, the president of the Crestview Area Chamber of Commerce, and we're here today with Emerald Coast Aviation, Jonathan Dunn. And he's our sponsor for our February breakfast. He's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on at the Crestview Airport and Emerald Coast Aviation. First, I want to say thanks for having us up here in your simulator today, and thanks for sponsoring the breakfast.
That's great, Derek. It's a pleasure to be part of this community. We thoroughly enjoyed the breakfast. It was great. It was informative. It let people know a little bit more about flight training and how possible it is to come out at the Bob Sykes Airport and learn to fly. And today we're in our simulator, Derek. It's just a fantastic tool as well.
Yeah, and I guess you're going to tell us a little bit besides flight training what your company does, but for everybody out there in TV land, tell everybody what the Emerald Coast FBO, what does that stand for, and what does an FBO do?
Sure, Derek. An FBO stands for Fixed-Based Operator, and what a fixed-based operator is, it's the meet and greet, it's the front door of an airport. So we sometimes class ourselves as the front door of the Crestview area, whether it's a small aircraft or a large aircraft, with a meet and greet service. We also do fueling, and we maintain aircraft, and we have hangars to store aircraft, and of course flight training, which is what is part of our simulator here today, Derek.
So you mentioned the front door of the fly-in community. So when a business is coming, such as a hospital or a company that might be looking to invest in land in the community, you guys are the first ones that meet them when they arrive in Crestview.
Yes, and they get an excellent service, whether it's a small two-seater airplane or a 20-seater jet. You know, we give great service because we want Crestview to succeed, we want the whole area to succeed, and we want the economy to be strong. So when that prospective company or person comes in, they'll be really impressed with what they see at Emerald Coast Aviation.
And you've done a real good job of, since you've been here, I guess it's been about 3 or 4 years that you've been the fixed base operator?
About 3 years now, Derek.
Very good. Well, we mentioned that we're in the simulator today, and you have something unique here in your simulator that no other flight school around the Panhandle has. So where's the nearest simulator at?
Well, the nearest Redbird full motion simulator from here, there's one in New Orleans and there's one in Jacksonville, Derek. But we're the nearest in the Panhandle, and as you can see, it is a full motion simulator. You can have time in it towards your private, which is up to 2.5 hours. And it's a great tool because what it does, it allows you to talk about your training, and it has the ability to be able to stop the program when you're training, Derek. It's a great tool.
So kind of like what we did here is we can take off, and if I'm a student and I'm having a little problems, or if I'm nervous, or I'm just not getting down what you're explaining to me, instead of being like in the airplane when we're flying around and we've got the noise and we've got the weather and I'm paying money to sit next to you, in the simulator, if we're having a problem, you just hit the button and we turn around and talk like we're doing now.
Yeah, we can just pause it, and then you can then talk about what's going on or what's happening, and that gives you the ability to learn more, because you can't do that in the aeroplane because there's so much going on. You've got your headphones on, Derek, you've got the instructor talking to you, you have your maps on your knee, you have your checklist. This tool right here allows you to really focus on your training and receive quality training as well.
So it's a real great component to your flight training school that allows you to be a little bit more efficient than the competition.
Yes, sir.
And so far, how's the students received it? I know you've had it for about a year now.
Yeah, well, Derek, to be honest with you, it flies every day. Some days it does 3 to 4 hours, some days it does 2 hours. But with the Redbird, you can do a lot more, but just teach people to fly. When you eventually get your private license, like yourself, Derek, you have a corporate license and an instrument rating. You can work towards your instrument rating and your commercial flying license as well in this simulator. It's not just for your private flying.
And it's not that it just makes it easier to learn and more comfortable to learn, but it does save the student a little money too.
Yes, it's actually half the price of the aeroplane, Derek, and it can count directly towards the hours towards your private or the rating you're doing.
And as far as airplanes that you have for instruction, what kind of airplanes do you have now that we could go out and rent?
Sure, Derek, we've got 2 aeroplanes. They're both Cessna 172. Cessna is an aircraft manufacturer that's been around for nearly 50 years. Both our aircrafts are less than 10 years old. They are maintained in-house by our own competent licensed mechanics. But most importantly, our Cessna 172s are based on the Redbird, Derek. This is a 172 flight control panel and instrument panel. So basically what you see here, you see in the aeroplane. So you're using the same equipment right throughout your training, Derek.
And I've been an instructor for about 20 years, and most of the planes I flew were older than me. And you're one of the very few FBOs that I know of that have airplanes that smell new and have new instruments, such as the Garmin panels right here that make your cross-country planning and flying and just your radio usage so much better. And that's a big deal to any new students out there, especially the younger ones that are used to having boxes with buttons and all kinds of stuff to play with compared to how we learned in the old days.
Yeah, much more improved, Derek.
Well, you know, I know you have a video for us that shortly we're going to watch, and it's going to explain a little bit more about what your company does. But besides the fueling service and the repair service, I know you have some plans in the near future that there might be some expansions going on. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, we do have plans to build our terminal next year. We haven't really decided on the size, and we'd also like to eventually put some T-hangars in, Derek, so there'll be more hangars at the Crestview Airport, so we'll be able to attract more local tenants, and more local tenants mean more aeroplanes mean more jobs, skilled workers, Derek, which is important to our community.
Yeah, and in this community, of course, you know, because of the business component and then the recreational flying and the military and the contract, and this is a very busy airport. And I know you and the county has worked together greatly to ensure that there's a lot of growth and there's a lot of planned growth so that T-hangars or expansion can be done quickly, and when we bring new businesses in like we did with Quest and Capital, we have the ability to bring them in and get them set up quick.
Well, we try and support the county and the county's airport department and the Crestview Chamber of Commerce with any new business, because new business means more skilled jobs for the Crestview area, Derek.
Well, John, we're going to take a little break, and I think we're going to watch that video that you have for us. When we come back, I think we're going to go out in the hangar and look at some of the airplanes that you're working on. So thanks for taking the time to show us the simulator, and when we come back, we'll be in the hangar, and keep a lookout for this video that's going to teach us a little bit more about what's going on at Emerald Coast Aviation.